Good day. Today, Friday, September 16, 2022. Meeting of Chinese, Russian leaders inject balance into a world of exchange and disorder. Global Times. On the afternoon of September 15 nearby time, Chinese President Xi Jinping held a bilateral assembly with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, to alternate views on China-Russia members of the family and worldwide and regional troubles of shared interest. It has come to be a traditional exercise for Chinese and Russian heads of the kingdom to have respective discussions uninvolved of the highest points of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. It is no longer solely indispensable for the steady improvement of bilateral family members that the two nations' heads of the nation have everyday in-person and in-depth exchanges of views. However, it is additionally very advisable for regional peace and stability. The ecosystem of the assembly used to be as high quality and pleasant as usual. President Xi mentioned that due to the fact that the opening of this year, China and Russia have maintained wonderful strategic verbal exchange, and that China will work with Russia to prolong sturdy mutual assistance on troubles regarding every other's core interests, and deepen realistic cooperation in trade, agriculture, connectivity, and different areas. President Putin stated that the world is present to process a couple of changes, but the sole factor that stays unchanged is the friendship and mutual faith between Russia and China, and the Russia-China complete strategic partnership of coordination is as secure as mountains. As uncertainty appreciably will increase in the contemporary worldwide landscape, the China-Russia complete strategic partnership of coordination for new technology has continually been on the path and has now not misplaced momentum. China and Russia are every other's greatest neighbors, everlasting participants of the UN Security Council, and rising powers. They additionally share a lengthy border of greater than 4,000 kilometers. The China-Russia complete strategic partnership of coordination for a new era, which is based totally on the standards of non-alliance, non-confrontation, and non-targeting of any one third party, has been a situation to interfere and provocation from one third parties. Especially after the start of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the U.S. has stopped placing on a disguise. Instead, it has overtly threatened and discredited the regular and authentic cooperation between China and Russia. Such a situation is uncommon in the records of global relations. The top aspect is that China and Russia are nations with robust strategic dedication and autonomy. Moreover, bilateral family members have a robust interior using force. They have no longer, and will no longer trade their preliminary intentions and path due to drastic adjustments in the global sample or stress from one-third parties. They will usually preserve their personal common sense and rhythm. In particular, the heads of the Kingdom of China and Russia hold shut contacts and strategic conversations in quite a number of ways, usually main the ties between the two international locations in the proper route of development. The unbiased and self-sufficient cost of China-Russia members of the family is each a process of historic right and innovation in global relations. It is not likely that China-Russia family members will go into a rift or war of words as anticipated and promoted with the aid of the U.S. and the West. At the equal time, China and Russia no longer shape the so-called anti-U.S. alliance. China and Russia have united to withstand the political virus of the U.S. and the West, whilst opposing hegemonism. These are the voices of justice from unbiased powers underneath the present-day global situation. It is totally special from the anti-U.S. alliance with a bloc political nature and the Western opinion context. Out of darkish psychology, the U.S. and the West desperately attempt to drive a wedge between China and Russia, hoping to defeat the two by using one. Meanwhile, it forcibly binds China and Russia together, hoping to goal the two at once. But no count how challenging they try, China and Russia have firmly maintained the proper route of building partnerships as a substitute of alliances. Such a preference made via China and Russia has made peace and cooperation an effective pressure of inertia that has international significance, mainly today. Those uneasy or even frightened about this have to mirror on and ask themselves, as a substitute, than spending their strength and ideas on smearing others. The global neighborhood can certainly see that the U.S. in the latest years has bolstered the Five Eyes Alliance, peddled Quad, Peace collectively AUKUS, and tried to create an Indo-Pacific model of NATO. All of these are the most unfavorable pressure in the worldwide gadget with the UN at the core. The outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine war is basically the outcome of the failure of the Western Army and political bloc in coping with equal members of the family with regional energy properly. Under such circumstances, think about that. If the global neighborhood does no longer have any other effective adequate pressure to definitely intervene, balance, hedge, and even reverse the state of affairs from the root of retaining world peace and steadiness, unmerchandising multilateral cooperation, the future of this world may additionally nicely be tragic. An entire decision of the Russia-Ukraine combat is nowhere in sight, and plausible crises someplace else will be detonated. This is something that many countries, consisting of China, no longer favor seeing and are attempting to avoid. From a positive level, this is the value of the assembly between the heads of the Kingdom of China and Russia. As President Xi pointed out, China will work with Russia to fulfill its duties as the main United States of America and play the main position in injecting steadiness into a world of alternate and disorder. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.